Welcome to Book Club The Yappening, a podcast where we discuss every and all things we've read and some of us haven't read, in a safe place where we can yap about life in general. In the description, you'll find links to our Fable, Instagram, and Discord accounts. Please follow for more yapping in different styles. For a warning, we will 100% be spoiling this book, so please pause, go read, and come back to yap. Read the trigger warnings before continuing on. Well, welcome back, everybody. Today we have a very special guest.
Yay.
We call her Rachie.
Yes.
Her name's Rachel, and today she brings us a very special treat of ice, gay men, and some heated rivalry.
Is this heated rivalry?
Is this heated rivalry? It is heated rivalry. Say hello,
Ooh,
Rachel.
two truths and a lie. It's not.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be on the podcast. Special guest. I'm sure this won't be my last time.
I'm sure not.
But you know,
You're going to be a core of the Smut.
As long as you do a good job.
Yeah, exactly. if I get hired back again,
Right.
I'll be back on.
Nick's like, I'm taking notes. You're being judged this entire time.
Yeah, that's fine.
This
That's
is
fine.
your audition tape.
Yes.
Perform
Okay.
well.
No pressure. No
No
pressure.
pressure.
No pressure.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to know?
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I haven't finished the HBO show yet, but that's how I got introduced to Heated Rivalry.
yes.
I didn't know there was a book until you put into our group chat that you were reading Heated Rivalry.
Yeah,
There are
it's
6
based.
books, I think.
Yeah,
Oh
there's
my
a
God,
lot.
there's 6 books.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
shit.
books, yeah. But this
They stay heated.
yeah, they do.
They stay
There's
heated.
a lot of heated
Yeah.
rivalry.
They never get to they get to the lovers part, but they never stop being enemies.
Yes.
Over the
And they just
entire
keep
time.
fighting.
Yep.
Yeah,
They
pretty much.
fight with their penises.
And most of that is just to
Sword
keep
battle.
up a facade. Sword battle or hockey stick battle.
There you go. Love that.
Yeah, there is 6 books, but they're not all based on these 2 characters. They're all
Which I
based
gathered
on
from the HBO show.
yes, they're all based on other characters that span within a certain timeline,
Okay.
which is really interesting. So this particular book is based on Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. So, and then there's 2 parts to this book, and then it goes to the long game, which is then extending their relationship within the last how many years. But when I tell you guys that this is like the longest situationship you've ever been in.
Oh yeah, no, just even by the
Like-
HBO show, I'm like, how many years are we gonna just be in denial and still doing the do?
But also, like, shout out to Shane Hollander for just being like, you know what? I want this Russian dick, and I'm gonna stand beside it for 10 years because that's a long time.
Mhm.
That's a long time
That
to just
is.
be. I mean, like some relationships don't even last that long. So the
Most
fact
relationships.
That, yeah. So the fact that they were like in this relationship for so many years, but
They were roommates without roommating.
yeah, pretty much. But and you know, they make fun of the fact that Boston and Montreal compete against each other a
Okay.
lot. So they were able to meet up within certain timelines, but yeah, no. So, you know, basically it's about a decade romance between 2 NHL players.
Okay.
In the TV series, it's MHL. I don't know if that's for copyright reasons. I'm sure it probably is.
Or something.
Or
Licensing,
something.
Yeah.
So it's not the same names. They use different names for the teams. Still Boston, still Montreal.
Mhm.
So, you know, but and basically it's just about them staying hidden the whole time. So they do secret meetups, hotel meetups. They find reasons to meet up with each other. If Rozanov is in Boston, then Shane goes to his place, vice versa.
Okay.
Because
How'd
Shane's
they-
based in
how'd they meet?
Canada. So they met their rookie year. It
Mhm.
was 2008. In the book, it starts off as a prologue in 2016.
Mm.
So at that point, it had already been 8 years since they started their romance. And it then goes into part 1, which is them meeting rookie year. They're not drafted yet.
Okay.
So they meet their draft year in 2008.
Nice.
But they don't officially start a romance until 2010.
But it's like how how the show did it was,
Mhm.
I remember now when they were going in for their rookie stuff.
Yes.
He meets him outside of the building and he's like, "Hey, I'm a big fan." And he's like,
Yeah.
And fuck off.
Yeah.
Type shit.
What a vibe, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Ilya's Russian, so he's kind of hardcore.
Mhm.
And what's so good about the show is the actor who plays him, Connor Story. He learned Russian, in 2 to 4 weeks. He said.
Okay.
I was wondering about that because like It's good.
Yeah, it's
like,
really
it's so
good.
I thought he was actually Russian.
Yes.
And then
me
I heard him
too.
not, like,
Me
speak in
too.
an interview. I'm like, I feel like I have been bamboozled.
No, because
You are not who I knew you were.
Led astray.
No, because girl, he is such baby girl in real life. If you hear his voice in real life, he's so sweet, so soft spoken. Like, he is the definition of baby girl. So I thought he was Russian too. I was actually really surprised because the way he does his facial features, the way he does all his stuff in the show, I do think that he did a really great job. And the fact that he learned Russian,
Yeah.
because Russian's one of the harder languages
Yeah, it's hard.
to learn.
It's very hard.
Right.
And he said that they don't use, like, I remember watching an interview with him, and he's like, they don't use the word "the" and certain things in their dialect. And then in the beginning of the series or the show, he said that he had to have more of a stronger Russian accent.
Okay.
And then as he started playing with more American teams, he was learning, like, more English, and so his dialect got different. So then he had to learn how to do different dialects, which I thought was really interesting.
That's in depth.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, so
I'm sure they had a translator on site as well to help.
They did, and I don't know. I think I feel like you have to be super smart to just learn a language.
Oh,
like that.
surely.
Yeah, 100%. There's no
I feel
way.
like actors in general are very smart though, because imagine all the scripts you have to like read and like the characters you build in your head, like wild.
Well, and both of them, the actors who play Shane and Elia, they were both waiters at restaurants.
Sounds like the most California thing ever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but it starts off, they meet each other in rookie development camp. They're not drafted yet, but they are with the respected teams that they're probably going to draft with. And then they're both very competitive, and they're both really good at what they do. Like, Ilia's one of the top NHL players, and so is Shane.
Introduce our fifth guest.
I know.
Oh, hey.
Fig.
Okay, Fig's like, I like this topic.
She's like, I heard homosexual.
She always wants to get involved when BL is happening.
Literally.
Right.
Damn it.
You are a queen after mine own heart,
She
girl.
loves boy love.
Who doesn't?
In one of our shorts, I made her seem a little homophobic, but no, she loves the gays.
A girl.
She's like, this
She's
is
an
my
ally.
tower. Thank you.
I know.
Talk, Valentina.
Oh, she got so offended by how you were just enjoying the quesadilla smell earlier.
Well,
Oh wait, now I have soap
and now
hands.
it smells like her stinky sister.
Ew.
That offended her like hell.
Jeez.
Damn. Okay, I'm just gonna
Okay.
stick over to my own corner, my nasty ass. I'll just singe. Okay. I feel rejected by the cat.
I'm sorry.
I will say, though, in the show, they do use very similar dialogue that the book uses.
Okay.
Which I did appreciate. I find it hard sometimes to, like, watch a show or, like, a movie that's based on a book, and then you read the book and it's so completely different.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that this show versus the book was, when you read the book, it's funny because you're like, oh, that was said in the show.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that kind of stuff because it makes me, like, more weirdly interested in it. You know what I mean?
I do think they do a better job of, like, transitioning books into shows because they have a longer span of time, you know?
Yeah, it's also like so it depends on how much you want to get your book into a production like that, because a lot of people who take over books for production get to put their own spin on it depending on how much the author is allowed to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So that also is depending too.
Also, just when, like, they say there's just a meeting between characters, you either need to fit into 5 to 10 minutes in a show, or 3 minutes in a movie.
Yeah.
Just to compact everything.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I know Behind Her Eyes, that was a Netflix show. I read that book and they're almost identical. I did like the book a little bit more because you kind of got to be in other people's heads, but I generally like show adaptations better than movie adaptations.
Yeah, I agree. Because I've never heard of this book, honest to God, till I watched the show.
I know, I didn't hear didn't know it was a book until
I didn't
you
know.
messaged us the cover of it, and
But,
I'm like, oh.
but then when I deep dived, there's a really big fan base on
Yeah.
this book, and I had no idea. And I feel like I try to keep up with, like, the gay smut universe, because I'm a 2008, 2009 fanfiction girly.
Yeah.
Archive
me
of our
too,
own,
girl, me
fanfiction.net. I used to write fanfiction when I was a
Love
kid.
that.
God, there is
So-
I know a book series I want to do for the podcast.
What?
It is, I don't remember the name of it. but it is like gay FBI agents.
What a vibe.
And it's actually because me and Amanda were named in each other's phones with our nicknames. So it's
Oh my
great.
God.
Yeah, because I call me
That's
Amanda
cute.
Meow Mix and she calls me Lone Star, and it's their nicknames as. It's like enemies to lovers, but like I hate your guts and I'm gonna fall in love with you anyways.
That's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would want to watch or read
Yeah.
an FBI gay smut book.
Oh, it's great.
That seems like your type of book.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Oh my god, and then you get into like the Hitman. There's like a Hitman like side off book. Oh my god, yes. Like,
Is the hitman gay too?
yeah, he's gay. I think he's Irish, and he's in love with a waiter who works at a restaurant called, I think, Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I don't know. And the guy comes in at that day, like, I don't know, and the little waiter has like, I think, a ton of Pomeranians.
Oh shit.
That's crazy.
Just
Okay.
like,
His
Next
name's
read.
Cameron.
yeah.
Next read. Love
There you
that.
go.
Oh, it's good. Oh my god, girl. I'll send it to you when
Yeah,
I
send
figure
it.
it out.
Yeah.
Because they're all titled something different.
Yeah,
Um,
please send it to me so I can.
It's so good. Me and Amanda were obsessed.
I love that.
And the audiobooks, we even listen to audiobooks. So good.
Mm.
Oh wait, I think it's hard to get them now though because the books are worth a lot of money now.
Oh my god. Is
And the
this like
audiobooks, no, they don't really make them anymore.
I had no idea. I mean, this was a hard book for me to find.
I know.
I'm
But
not
that's
gonna lie
because
to
the
you.
girlies are out here
It's really
snatching them up.
I know. And then Amazon was selling the book on resale for like $50.
Oh, I saw a whole table at like Barnes and Noble with all these books when I went in today.
I had to wait a few weeks for the die down to happen, and then I was like able to find
It's like
it.
Labubu's with the gay books.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but
Anyway,
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're
Go for
good.
it.
So then basically it goes into their rookie year. They get drafted. It's kind of funny because Shane Hollander's number 2 draft and Ilya Rozanoff is number 1 draft in the
Ooh.
NHL. So that kind of starts their competitiveness a little
Yes.
bit. They're both obviously very good players in what they do, but they do play differently.
Mm.
But then you find out later on that the way they play, when they do play together, it works very well together. Like, they're very compatible in that way, which I thought was actually a really cute way of, like, integrating both of their styles in the NHL. I thought that was really good on Rachel Reid to later on, you know, dictate in the book and in the series and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was fun. So basically they just meet up. So from like 2011, 2014, they have a routine going on. They're going to hotel rooms, they're sneaking around. You know, Shane is very paranoid. That's something you learn very on in the book. He doesn't want to be outed.
Okay.
But Ilya is Russian, and in Russia, homophobia is illegal. So he also doesn't want to be outed, but he loves danger. Part of his sexual fantasy is danger.
I wasn't gonna clock that.
Normally I wouldn't, but just because it was kind of funny. Homophobia, very much legal in
You said
Russia.
homophobia is illegal.
Oh, sorry, illegal. I'm
No,
sorry,
I knew
legal.
I knew what
Sorry,
you were
legal,
saying.
legal. Yeah, my bad.
Wait,
It's
what was that?
it's sorry. I meant to say
Being gay
legal.
is like illegal in Russia.
Oh yeah, that's what she said though.
She said homophobia is illegal.
Oh, sorry.
Oh!
Yeah, my bad.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I meant to say.
9 times out of 10 I will let it slide because I don't want to, you know, if someone misspeaks I don't want to like try to make
No,
fun of them.
have you said finger because
or
I did
anything.
not mean to say that.
But that's just such a vastly different
Yeah,
No, it's okay, it's okay.
Different message.
My bad, guys. My bad.
all good.
My bad. Now we got that squared away. But yeah, but obviously Ilya doesn't want to be outed,
Right.
Because he's Russian and his dad's a cop. His brother's a cop
Mm.
in Russia, but he his whole life has known that he was bisexual.
Okay.
He sleeps with women. He has a friend named Slavana that he is best friends with, but they do have a sexual relationship with each other. But he also loves and respects her.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out that his mom is dead and
Oh.
his dad has dementia.
Okay.
So you learn that he has a really interesting just background in general, but he loves the idea of danger. He loves the idea of like secret hookups, secret meetups. So I think that's what was appealing with Shane was like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, but we are doing this.
Okay.
And he liked it. But then it comes into play where the more that they're getting into it, the more feelings grow. Shane becomes, and you can tell in the TV series, as long as the book series, Shane becomes very jealous, very possessive of Ilya. And honestly, that was the only male interaction he's ever had his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he knows that Elia has had other sexual experiences besides him. And it's, you know, their first time together. Elia makes a joke of like, oh, is this your first time having sex? And Shane's like, oh, of course it's not. But it doesn't like, they don't go into Shane's background too much of his past history with women or men. But you can tell that it really was his first, like, real sexual experience. And Elia's a pusher. He's a tester. He wants to push limits. So their first meetups, he's kind of making jokes. And he's being really outlandish with how he's saying things. Like, oh, do you like to suck my cock? Things like that, you know? And Shane is, you know, he grew up in a very loving family. His parents only had one kid, which was him. And they're very supportive of his career. He's very media trained. So the way he talks and the way he moves and grooves, it's very proper. Mm-hmm. But Elia's not proper at all. And in hockey, it's a teammate sport. Yeah. And Elia talks about himself a lot. He's always talking about how I'm going to do 50 goals this season. But Shane talks about it as a team sport. He talks about it in the sense of, oh, we're all going to do a good job this year. And so I think that's where their differences stem from. But I think it also works pretty well together. Because as you know, like, there should kind of be one black cat, one golden retriever in a relationship. So that's kind of what it is in that realm. But you kind of get Shane's jealousy going throughout the years of them meeting up because he knows that Elia is at the clubs, he's drinking. He's a little more of a bad boy than Shane. Shane doesn't, you know, if he's training, he's not drinking. He's not doing any of those things. And I find that interesting, but I kind of like those dynamics a little bit.
I'm kind of getting like a Superman-Batman vibe from
both
of them.
It's very similar to that.
Shane is the kind of hometown.
Yes.
Not necessarily a country boy, but like that, just that good old-fashioned American boy, and you know, nothing really dark about Ilya.
Ilya's the Russian one.
He's Russian,
yeah. Nothing really dark about him, but like he kind of doesn't play by the rules. I mean, Batman has rules and stuff, obviously, but he has a very different background, and you know, trying to keep everyone's keeping their identity hidden, but
it is very similar because Ilya too is very soft, and his mom had mental health issues, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but, you know, he loves kids. He treats women right. You know, he's not a bad guy, but I think he likes... Yeah, he's a Batman. He likes to push... Like, it's funny because he likes to push Shane's buttons a little bit. And I think he does it to get that side out of him. I think he kind of, in a weird way, whether they talk about this or not in the book or the show, I think he likes that he can see Shane in this possessive nature. I think it's fun for him. But I think a lot of people that are slightly avoidant or have some nature in that, I think that they test people a little bit. And so I think that's what Ilya does. And then as the years go on, it's like 2014, 2016, their careers obviously advance. You know, they're making money. They're both living lavish lifestyles. They're both in the NHL. Shane, I think, continues to have intimacy with Ilya because he likes the benefits of it. Makes him feel good. I think also Shane likes the idea of the danger part of it, but he's more nervous than Ilya is. And there's a scene where Shane wins MVP of the year, Rookie of the Year. I think it was Rookie of the Year. And he can't find Ilya. And he's like, where's Ilya? Why isn't he at the party with all of us? And he goes on a rooftop and he sees Ilya smoking a cigarette. And the whole time he gives Ilya shit for smoking cigarettes. He's like, you shouldn't be smoking. You shouldn't be smoking. Which later on goes into something else. But so he sees him on a rooftop and Ilya's like, you know, congratulations, you won. That was, you know, you should have won. And all this stuff. And he's like, why can't you be happy for me? And Ilya's like, it's not about you. Because Ilya has so much going on in his personal life with his dad having dementia. His brother's constantly asking him for money, for handouts, because he knows he's making all this money in the NHL. And you kind of see, you know, Shane's not understanding in a way of the fact that Ilya has all this other things going on in his personal life, you know, because Shane, again, like Nick said, he kind of grew up very proper. He's a golden boy, you know, his family took care of him. His family is supportive of him. And I think that dynamic is pretty interesting. But yeah, so then you go into basically Elia starts to pull back after that. So after he wins Rookie of the Year, Elia's being a little bit more discreet. He doesn't really want Shane to be around him, near him. And I think a lot of that is for two reasons, which is the fact that he does feel like he has to be this, like, person for Russia. Because that year, the Russian Olympics happened.
Yeah.
And he feels like he has to be a part of his country, and he doesn't want to disappoint people. And also, I think around this time, he's starting to, like, have a lot more feelings for Shane than he cares to have. And Shane, because at this point they had intercourse, I think Shane thinks that their relationship is a lot different than what Elia is. You know, Elia the whole time is like, it's just sex. But Shane has never had sex with a man before. So I think that was a very, like, intimate thing for him to do. So yeah, so you go into that scene of their lives, and Elia's like, you know, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to be left alone, because they are together during the Russian Olympics. So it's a very interesting, I don't know, like, I do think it's interesting, their relationship dynamic in the beginning years, because it's very much like, you have to be a strong person to deal with that. I mean, I watched the show and I was like, oh my God, like, if I was, like, dating a man who was like that, which maybe slightly was dating a man who was like that a little bit, like, the push and pull, like, doesn't want to admit their feelings, but also, you know, whatever. But it's like, it is hard to be like, well, I thought we have this relationship, and then our dynamic is different, you know? So it goes into that. But yeah. And then as you continue the series, obviously feelings involve, and, you know, but again, Elia's testing Shane the whole time. He's testing him. He's making comments about how, oh, I'm just a playboy, women love me, women want to be with me. And then but I think he's doing it again to kind of gauge Shane's reaction to that, because I think he does know that he's the only person that Shane is having relationships with, because it is. But also imagine this person that you met in 2008. You guys didn't really hook up to 2010, and then for the next 3 or 4 years, you guys are just consistently hooking up on and off in hotel rooms, each other's houses, whatever the case is. And then you're kind of discovering, like, oh, you're not having any relations outside with anyone else but me.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, I think Shane just didn't really feel comfortable having relations with men outside of Elia, because he didn't want his secret to be exposed. Because he's making, you know, he's one of the top players in the NHL, and he doesn't want people to find out about him. So it's too dangerous for him to explore other options, where Elia doesn't care. He's going to explore other options because he likes the danger of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where that imbalance comes in.
Yeah.
It is, and he likes to, you know, he likes to party. He's Russian. He likes to drink vodka and hang out and do whatever but it's interesting, because as the time frame goes on, his friends make comments about how, oh, you don't like to go out anymore. What's going on with you? You're not doing the things that you used to do when we. Yeah, and that's kind of when you start seeing, like, the gears turning in Elia. You know, his friends are noticing, oh, you're messaging this girl named Jane on your phone, because they gave each other aliases on their phones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Lily and Jane, and it's funny because he calls Shane boring a lot. He's like, you're boring, give me your phone. And they give each other, like, aliases because they don't want people to see that they're texting each other.
Yeah.
And so, you know, throughout the years, people are noticing, hey, you're texting this person named Jane, and you're texting this person named Lily, like, what's going on with that? And that's kind of how they keep up the communication between them two. But Shane is funny, because when they first had, you know, sex for the first time, in the book, Shane did not want Elia to go to his house. He rented and, like, did properties in Canada. So he basically had all these, like, extra homes and apartment buildings that he was renting out and fixing. In the book, in the TV series, their first time having sex was in his actual home in Ottawa. But in the book series, he brings him to this, like, place that's not even his home, his apartment. It's, like, basically like a renter's place. He's, like, renting it out to tenants. And it's because he doesn't want Elia to be that close to him. He doesn't want him to, like, see his real life. But I did like that the TV series kind of went against that a little bit, because I do think it made more sense for them to, like, have sex at Shane's, like, house for the first time, even though Elia wanted them to have sex in a hotel room, and Shane's like, no, because people are going to hear us. Like, it's just, you know, it's one of those things, but yeah. So. You
said, like, you mentioned teammates asking about him, like, saying you're not going out, and they have aliases for each other and stuff.
Yes.
And I just had this thought of the teammates going, so who's this, who's this Lily? Who's this Jane? Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't know her, she's from Canada. Mm-hmm. And then you said that Jane was born in Ottawa.
Yeah.
She doesn't even go here.
Yeah, literally.
She doesn't even go here.
I know, I get, like, I don't know, it was, in the show, they did a really good job on the show, I think, where you didn't feel like it was, like, two gay people.
Oh. No, I know what you mean, though. It felt so natural.
It felt very natural.
Felt natural.
Yes.
Like, I know what she's talking about, because, like...
It didn't feel like that. It was weird. Like, watching it, I'm like, oh, I feel like I was... The way that the guy that read it and directed it, the way he did it, it didn't feel...
It was good. It was really good how they did it.
It was really good. It didn't feel... I felt like I was just watching, like, a regular show about two people that were just trying to figure out their circumstances in life. Whereas, like, some shows, I feel...
It feels forced to me in some shows. Like, they're forced to fit an agenda. And I'm like...
Yes.
That's also wrong, too, because it doesn't feel natural. Like, I can tell what you're doing. And I don't... Like, I'm glad for the representation. I love representation. But...
It has to make sense.
It has to make sense naturally, yeah.
And I do think that their issues on both ends make sense. It's like they both have their own struggles with why they want to keep their secret. But also, it is interesting that later on in the series, it's Elia who's mad at Shane because Shane is so stuck in the fact that he doesn't want to ruin his reputation as this NHL player, even though we see in the show that Scott Hunter, who was a side quest in the series, he comes out as being gay, and you know, and that's what kind of gets them to, like, pivot the relationship. But I do think it's interesting how it kind of starts in the beginning of, it's like, it's Elia being kind of paranoid and weird about things. And it's also Shane, too, but Shane's more, like, emotional than Elia. He's more vulnerable than him. So, yeah. Yeah, and then there's a year where basically Elia withdraws from Shane. He doesn't really want to talk to him. He's not texting. They just kind of stop seeing each other. And then Shane obviously this is when Shane's, like, concerns and fears of coming out and the vulnerability start happening, because at this point they've been seeing each other for, like, 8+ years. So this is kind of when you start seeing Shane's anxiety about letting his parents know that he might be gay. This is when you see Elia falling in love with Shane and feeling like, oh god, okay, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know if I want to have these feelings for somebody. And so then halfway through, it's when you kind of do, like, the breaking point, is what they call it. So then it goes into acceptance, which I think that the way that they did it in the book was really good. I think it really shows kind of the mindsets. You know, Elia's dad ends up dying from dementia, and then he cuts off his brother. And I do think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he starts accepting the fact that he's in love with Shane. And then, you know, Shane also admits his feelings to Elia and tells him, you know, I have these really big feelings for you and I think I'm gay. And then in the meantime, you know, Elia makes fun of that.
I just remember I've gotten up to that point in the HBO show, which is, I don't know if they do it in the book, but where he gave the whole I love you speech in Russian to him when he was, like, at his dad's funeral, like, type thing.
Yes.
And, oh my god. And then he's like, I think I'm gay. It was so, he said it's Elia, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, no shit. Like,
he's like, okay.
Yeah, it was, like, really funny in the show how they did it.
And he's like, you think I should know? You know, like, I just, he's like, what makes you think you are, or are, you know, like, it was, but, like, Elia's a dick, right? He wants to test him, he wants to kind of, like, get under his skin a little bit, but I think that Elia's dad dying, I think his cutting off his brother and his family, you know, his brother was using him for money, he was supporting his lifestyle, his brother was a cokehead, essentially, he was using the money for drugs, he had a kid, like, you know, he was living off of his brother. And I do think that, you know, Elia felt like a responsibility because his mom had died of suicide and all that stuff. But so it kind of goes into, they have this break, and during the break, Shane meets Rose, and he feels like he needs to, like, figure out, I don't know if he's even figuring it out, but I think he's trying really hard to be straight.
Okay.
And a lot of that is pushed by Elia, because Elia is talking about how he has sex with women, and one of their last meetups was at Elia's house in Boston, and he's like pushing him and saying, like, yeah, I can have sex with whoever I want to have sex with, and he's kind of letting Shane know, you know, like, this is options for me, and Shane's like, well, good for you.
Right.
But it feels different to Shane, like that one meetup they have after all these years, it feels different. He's like, it's more intimate. Elia wants him to spend the night. They never spend the night together. They also only call each other by their last names. And then this one particular hangout, he calls him Shane for the first time ever. And that's when Shane is like, oh, wow, okay, like, this is different, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But maybe he called him Shane like once or twice, but never in an intimate manner.
Yeah.
It was never intimately called Shane, like, not in a setting of, like, they're private, they're hanging out. He always called him Hollander. And then he always called him Rozzy or Rosenoff because his teammates called him Rozzy. So I think that Shane was like, oh, this is different, this is kind of scary, and I don't know if I can do this. And then he meets Rose and he gets into a relationship with her, but he can't keep up with it because he's not attracted to women. And she discovers that. I love the way that they depict the woman in the series, because I love that every single character is just so, like, understanding. Like, the parents, the friends, I love that they are just, like, accepting of the fact that, okay, this is how you are, and that's okay. Like, even the parents in the show, I love that. And I think that a lot of times in, like, TV shows, TV series, I think that they make it so hard for gay characters, but it's like, why? You know, but I like that everyone was just like, okay. It wasn't, like, difficult. I mean,
it's nice to see.
Yeah, in the HBO show, it's such a realistic response, like how you would have in modern day.
It is.
Because in Rose, when she found out, he was very much like team him, and like, we're gonna text all the time, and we're gonna talk every day.
Yeah. She's like, I went to theater school, like, I had gay boyfriends my whole life. And that's how he kind of, like, becomes okay with coming out to her. And she asks him straight up, like, have you been with a man before? And he says yes. And she's like, that's okay. And she had a gay best friend at the time who kind of clocked the fact that he might be, and whatever. But I do like that there's a different way that they showed those types of characters. It wasn't so difficult. Like, maybe the reaction at first was shocking in its own way, but it wasn't this big deal. Right? Because I feel like a lot of times they make it such a... It's like they want, like, to not villainize, but I feel like there's always, like, this struggle, and it doesn't have to be so hard. Like, it can be the opposite, where it's like, it's okay. Maybe I'm shocked in a sense of, like, I didn't realize that about you. Because Shane did keep it a secret from his parents for so many years. But, you know, his mom's like, don't feel like you had to have. I'm sad that you felt that way. And it was just, like, this nice understanding. But yeah, so, you know, Shane tries dating Rose, and it doesn't work out, obviously. And Elia's jealous as hell. He sees them in magazines and all these things together. And after that, it kind of goes into the other part 2 of things. Yeah, I know. Scandalous.
I mean, I love my boy. Not gonna read it.
No, it is a really good book. It's very close to the TV series, I will say.
Yeah, that's good.
It's not much.
Except everything you were saying, like, really clocked into each, because I don't think I have that many episodes left. So, because the last episode I had gotten him was he had just left his dad's funeral and talked in the wind tunnel, or, like, underneath the bridge to him in Russian.
Yeah.
And so I got past the Rose part.
Yep.
And all that stuff. It's so good. It's a really good show.
It's a really, really good show. And, you know, around the time of, like, 2016 to 2018, it's kind of when the emotional climax happens of the series. So you know, they're not trying to fight so much of their relationship. Shane, he's more self-reflective of how he feels. He obviously is not dating Rose Landry because he's not in love with her in that way, and they're just really good friends at this point. But he doesn't want to lose Elia because he feels like he probably could. And it's interesting because there's a part in the book where Shane gets hit by one of Elia's teammates, and that's when you can kind of see the gears shifting in Elia, because he just lost his dad, and then he had seen Shane get hit on the ice by somebody on his team, and he got sent to the hospital, and Elia visits him, but Elia's planning on ending things with him at the hospital. But Shane is super high, and
I remember that episode.
Yeah, and it was,
here you are.
He's like, come here. And Elia's, you know, you can tell that he's conflicted, and he doesn't know what to do, and
love and denial.
I know, he's like, denial, and he's worried, he's upset because he doesn't want to lose Shane either, but he goes to his bedside, and Shane then highly admits that he wanted to invite him to his cottage that summer, and he knows what's going on with Elia and his family. He knows the dynamics with everything going on there. You know, he doesn't want him to go back to Russia. He doesn't think it's a healthy place for him to be. He wants him to go to his cottage in Canada, but Elia is struggling with the fact that he should be there, and he should be in some ways with his family.
Well, technically, he's also not an American citizen in that respect,
he's not,
too.
No.
So he just can't leave Russia.
No. Yeah.
There's only a certain amount of time you can stay in a different country.
Yeah.
So he would need to get that all secure first before I'm not sure how easy that is to leave Russia and to come to America like that.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, I think them also in the TV series, in the book, they see Scott Hunter, who basically wins the Stanley Cup. In the show, it's not called the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it's not called that, but yeah, it's like the cup. He wins it. That's because he was dating somebody.
The Yeti Cup.
What?
The Yeti Cup.
The Yeti Cup.
Yeah, the Yeti Cup.
Pretty much.
I don't know. Did they touch on their relationship in the first book? Because, like, for me, like, I did think it was like a very little sweet Cinderella romance, but it was kind of creepy to me that he's like, in the show, he's like, don't leave my house, stay here. I like it when you're home.
No, like, I want to say that their relationship was in a different book series. But the Kip and Steve Hunter, right? Am I stupid? Steve?
Scott.
Oh, Scott Hunter. My God.
Scott Hunter, sorry. I don't know his
why am
my
brain says think Steve for a second? So his background story is interesting. So his parents died in a car accident when he was a kid, and he basically got adopted into this NHL family. And he grew up just going to this community house and learning how to play hockey. And so that's how he got into hockey. And I think a lot of his possessiveness and his codependency comes from he doesn't want to be alone. He like comes home alone. He doesn't have family. So he meets Kip, who is a smoothie worker, and he stops in there one day after a run and grabs a smoothie. And essentially they start this secret romance because he's not out yet. And he doesn't want to be out because he's trying to win a Stanley Cup. And he, you know, in his brain, he thinks that if he says who he is, he potentially could lose that, and that's his goal. He's an older hockey player. He's like 42 or something like that. So
I think they joke about his age.
Yeah, he's like ready to retire. He's older. And so and that was a nice little episode. I think it was like episode 3. You go into their romance.
Oh yeah, it was like a brief little.
It was a brief episode, but it was cute. It was interesting. You know, he's like, I'm always been afraid to ask for what I want, and I want you to stay. So Kip stays and he doesn't go home, but then he realizes, like, well, he's not ready to actually come out and say that we're in a relationship yet. And so that kind of is like in the TV series, at least, it's like there's a break between Shane and Elia, and then they go to that storyline, which was really good. And again, his best friend was amazing. Elena, I think her name was. And again, like, it was just like, I love the woman. I love how they played the woman in the show. They're very self-aware. They're like, hey, I know what's going on. Don't play with me, which I love.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a nice little, like, I had a couple friends who were like, I didn't like that. They're like, I didn't like episode 3. I'm like, why? I thought it was kind of cute. It was a nice little break from the Shane and Ilya drama, you know? And it showed a different storyline of a gay hockey player who was in his 40s and never formally came out. And also didn't want to come out because of his career, which I think then, if you want to compare, goes back to Shane. Because he doesn't want to come out because he's worried it's going to ruin his career. So I thought it was nice, like, compare situation. But yeah. It's good. And then, I mean, after that, you kind of go into them figuring out that they want to be with each other. I mean, Shane admits his feelings to Ilya. He wants to be with him. He tells him the last time we saw each other, it felt different. I don't want you to be...
Are they still hiding it, or do they, like, eventually, like, hey, press? Because the press is going to lose their shit.
Well, no,
when they find out.
Once they see Scott Hunter and Kip on national TV making out, because Scott comes out on national TV after he wins the Stanley Cup, that's when Ilya's like, okay, this is possible. But again, it's after his dad passed away. His brother and him are not talking any longer. And he realizes, like, oh, there's a real possibility that me and Shane can be together. We can actually do this. And so he decides to take him up on his offer and goes to the cottage.
Okay.
So they go to the cottage. And, you know, they spend 2 weeks together in the cottage. And that's when they start really spending time together. Like, but that was the first. But imagine, like, I could not imagine this. But imagine the first time you actually spend, like, alone time like that, like, because Shane's like, I just want to relax with you. I've never been able to relax with you. In 10 years of knowing somebody, I'm like, you are built different, my guy, because I don't know what I would do if I wouldn't be able to, like, relax with my man. You know what I mean? The fact that the first time in 10 years that was, they were actually able to, like, be alone and do their own thing ever, I'm like, I would not be able to do that.
No.
But for years they had to, or so he thinks he has to. That's kind of the problem. And that's where the next book goes into play. But yeah, so they go to his cottage for, you know, the 2 weeks, and that's kind of when they start talking about feelings, and they, you know, Shane comes out to his parents, and Ilya's supportive of that. He wants him to. But that's where I think it's interesting, the transition of, like, Ilya being like, I can't go back to Russia if they know about me, but then also he wants to, like, change hockey teams. He has to, though. He has to, yeah. And he's, you know, his contract is up with Boston. He wants to be closer to him, and that's when you kind of seeing, like, the start of their actual relationship start, which I think is really interesting.
Right.
I mean, yeah, especially since, in my opinion, like, at that point, I mean, not to be this person, but it's like, I feel like you earned it. Like, I feel like I earned this to be what it is, you know, but...
Can you imagine, though, like, you know, after spending 10 years doing that, and you finally spend 2 weeks together, and you realize you hate each other? Oh my god.
No, that would suck.
Oh my god.
You know, and Ilya's trying to get us U.S., he's not U.S., but he's trying to get a Canadian citizenship because he wants to stay... He wants to, like, be permanent. He doesn't want to just be, like, a work visa. He wants to be, like, no,
that would be able to free him entirely if he were to become a citizen and stay. He wouldn't have to worry about the backlash going home.
But it comes with the fact that Shane's trying to figure out a way to make that happen. And then he discovers that Ilya's mom, you know, and the way that Ilya says it is kind of sad. He says, you know, she had an accident. He doesn't want to say that she killed herself because he doesn't want people to think that she's weak. And because he blames his dad for why she did that. And, you know, he talks about his mom very highly. He was like, she's a beautiful person. But you also learn that Ilya is very similar to his mom. He's very loving in that way, but he's not showing it to Shane right off the bat. He's kind of hiding that part of himself. And, you know, Shane comes up with this idea of the fact that they should do a charity together. And the charity should be, you know, young kids who want to get into hockey, and they donate the causes to mental health. And so he comes up with this idea of, like, we can have a charity together, people, and we can be seen in public together, but we can blame it on the charity. We can blame it on the fact that we have to do this together. And he comes up with this plan of how it could work for both of them until they retire, which is kind of crazy to think, because at this point they're not that old, because they met each other when they're, like, 19.
Yeah.
And
now they're, like, only in their 30s, so retirement could be when Scott Hunter's is, which is 42. But I think that's when the next book becomes really interesting, because that's when most of their problems come into play. Because this is when Elia's like, no, I want people to know I'm with you. I'm proud of you. Yeah. And Shane's trying to hide it still. Oh, but he's trying to figure out ways to kind of keep it close and key with the press and things like that. But his mom is also, Shane's mom is like, no, this is actually good for business. Like, you
I'm just saying, they're gonna like, it's gonna be crazy.
She's like, this would be good for business. Like, you guys can be in like underwear campaigns, and Shane's like having like a panic attack. He's like, I don't know if I want people to like know, and that's where, and then Elia is like severely depressed. Like, he just, he's been depressed for years, but he's hid it for so many years. But as you know, like, I think that when you're in survival mode like that, and then you don't have to be anymore, you don't realize how depressed you are. And I think it took that happening to him with Shane to make him realize, like, I'm actually not a happy person. Yeah. So I do like the fact that you get to more of that, like, emotional depth later on in the books. I haven't read the second book yet with them, but I'm interested to read it because I do like the idea of going into more of, like, the mental health and Shane's mindset of wanting to keep it a secret. Elia being like, no, I want people to know about us. Like, why can't they know about us? And the struggle that Shane has with that. So
is that a too heated to rivalry?
Oh my god, what do they call it? Unrivaled.
That's the new one coming out.
Oh, that's the new one coming out.
Okay. So she's coming out with a new book September 2026. That's, I think they're, not to spoil or anything, but they are married at this point, and I think it goes into like their marriage.
They're married. They got married.
I mean, she might work on my finger if you've been fucking me for 10 years. And
that's what I said.
Did they get secret married?
No, they got married in front of people.
Oh, like, shit. Okay.
It goes, like, I can't wait to read the other book because it goes into depth of, like, Shane's teammates turn on him because they think for years he was purposely losing to let Elia win.
That's honestly, that is literally a fair assumption, even though they were not faking it at all.
And Shane's like, I would rather die than let him win. Like, there's a part in the show where his mom was like, were you like letting, because she asked the same thing in the show, were you letting him win? And he's like, I'd rather die than let him. Would you let dad win at cards? And she goes, I'd rather die than let your dad win at me at cards. And he's like, then yeah, I would rather die than let him win at hockey, because he's so competitive in that way, and he like loves his sport. And so his mom's like, okay, I just want to make sure. But his teammates also felt the same way, where they were like, oh, the times you lost to them.
I will say it is a fair assumption to have. But if I feel like if you've been teammates for this long, you would already know that your competitive nature beats your loving one.
I mean, I would also just, it's your job, right? Like, you're a professional.
Yeah.
It's your job.
Like, you make your money off of this. I'm like,
right.
I mean, if it's my paycheck, I'll fucking hit you with my hockey stick. I don't know what to say.
We should just expect adults to be adults and be professional. So I wouldn't necessarily immediately assume that he was losing to his boyfriend or whatever. That's kind of crazy,
but also I think that they like to be competitive with each other. I think that was part of like the appeal with both of them. But it's interesting to see this, like, when people start finding out about them. From what I read online, I forgot the TikTok's creator's name on TikTok, but she does a really good job with like showing scenes of the show and then talking about the book and then the TV series and kind of what was different based on both. And, it goes into depths about that happening to Shane, because Shane's so loyal to his teammates. So it's interesting that they weren't ever that loyal to him in the same way.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of like what I'm interested in about the second book, is just going into more of like the mental health side of it. I like a good struggle. Because I think you have to struggle sometimes to get to the other side.
Well, oh, yeah, that is life.
Relationships included. I think that there's always some hardships, and then you kind of figure it out, and you're like, okay.
Tell that to the chicken.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the other side.
Okay, Dad.
The chicken.
Cut that. I'm not cutting it.
I know.
I'm not going to put it on the list to cut, so don't even think about it.
I just had to say something. I've been too quiet this episode.
Oh, yeah, because
you're just taking it gross. In.
Well, and also, I do love that everyone was making comments of, like, I'm in a psychosis, and I'm like, I definitely feel like I'm in a psychosis, because if I have nothing else to watch, I just throw on an episode of that show. and I just watch it because it's like oddly comfortable. It's like a comfy show now. And I'm obsessed with the two actors that play.
Oh my god. I saw a clip of the person who plays Shane showing Jimmy Fallon how to get on all fours. Like he was filming the entire time.
Hudson Williams, I love him. I just love that they 8 weeks ago were waiters and now they're just living their best. I mean, I love that for them.
I love that for them too. And it's just a testament that like one audition or 1 year or one time will change your life forever.
100%.
Yeah.
And it was a really impactful. It was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Hudson Williams talked about how there was like actual professional players DMing him on Instagram. Like, I never thought I could like come out, and then now I feel like I can actually.
Oh.
Which I think is great. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, but I understand the male.
Yeah, any like sort of macho. Yeah, setting would make it even more difficult. I mean, besides the fact that we're just living in a hellscape right now. So
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Deep sigh.
Yeah, like, current times.
You know. Yeah, that was pretty much like a little small summary of it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good book. Like one of my favorite books I read this past. And also, you know, I read a lot of gay romance novels. I think the last one I read that I really liked was Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is coming out with a second movie. They're filming right now in London for the second one.
Two Red, two White, two Royal Blue.
There's like another like gay hockey book.
Hockey and like figure skating is like a very big like romance trope right now in the last couple of years, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
I'm signed up for like different like book blasts or free stuff your Kindle days and stuff. And every time there's a romance one, there are at least 50 different hockey-based ones. Most of them centered around some pun using the word puck, and it is absolutely pucking maddening because they don't sound any different from one another, and I can't imagine reading like 5 of those and not thinking, oh, I've read this 4 times already.
Yeah, the one I had, didn't read the whole thing, but Their Obsession by Low Gold, that's like a smutty gay hockey moment. Basically a similar thing of like 2 sort of hockey rivals. One is this girl's like ex-boyfriend / maybe stalker. Well, certainly stalker because he literally followed her. And then the other's like her new boyfriend. And so it's just kind of like a throuple moment of like the hockey dudes get gay. And then she's there too.
She's watching from the chair.
Yeah. Literally. But that's like a dark romance type of moment. Yeah. You'd probably like it, Jessy.
There's like a lot. There's one that I got that I haven't read yet just because I got stuck on this lore, but it's like like race car drivers, you know, and this
like Formula 1.
Yeah, it's called Pole Position.
Cool.
And that
you were telling me about that.
That was I think I like made it through one chapter and then I got stuck on the whole like, you know, this one, but that one's is again the same idea. It's like 2 people that are kind of competing against each other and they end up on the same team, and
I expect a devastating crash at some point.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's funny. But also like Red, White, and Royal Blue has the same idea. It's like the president's son and then the Prince of England, and they hate each other, and then I'm like, what is going on with like gay romances where like they don't like each other, and then all of a sudden they like
it's because enemies to lovers is very big right now.
I'm like, wow, enemies to lovers is so big. I'm like, wow. So
it's a big trope right now. I'm like enemies to lovers. So.
I just find that really interesting. I'm like, I don't know if I
find it hot as fuck. Oh, I live for enemies.
We know that.
I know.
Like, I don't know if I can get down with that.
You're getting down with it now with Heated Rivalry.
Well, yeah, but like not personally.
Oh no, that's why we read fiction. That's half the stuff we read in fiction we do not want to be real.
Absolutely.
Personally, but
like, please don't pin me against the wall like that.
Please don't pin me against the wall like that. Or maybe.
Or maybe, okay. So you and the enemies to lovers.
I mean, if we want to roleplay enemies.
Oh my gosh. Damn.
I love that.
We spicy.
We can pretend to hate each other.
This is going out in several weeks, which means I get a head start on the fanfics.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh no, that's friend fiction.
Friend fiction? Oh my god.
No. Friend fiction is where they're friends, not fanfiction about friends.
Well, you can be on the cutting edge of that trend.
Start a new trend.
It was the Bob's Burgers thing. I don't want to distort it or ruin it. But anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, send us out, Nick.
Send this out.
Abolish ICE.
What?
What did you say?
Abolish ICE. Yeah, fuck ICE.
Yeah. Fuck them
Oh
motherfuckers.
yeah. I'm done with that
Jesse's
shit.
like, I'm like, what's happening?
What's happening? I'm like, oh, clocked. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Please
And
leave.
we'll end the episode with that.
I was gonna say something
Hockey
about
ice good. Other ice absolutely
Yeah.
fucking bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about how much I dislike hockey because of Abolish ICE, and just get right to the point.
Yeah.
We like to skate on ice. We like to
Yes.
put ice in our beverages. But when
Yes.
they're in our streets, they can go straight to hell.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't.
They can slip on the ice.
Motherfuckers. I can't even.
Yeah.
Did you hear people were like pouring water and shit, like where the ice was, so they kept sliding and falling?
That is
That's like my favorite level of petty.
crazy.
Honestly, yeah.
No, as they should.
Use this fucking heinous weather to your advantage.
Slip and slide out of my state.
Right.
Like,
just
please
slip your way
fucking
straight to hell.
leave.
Thank you.
Slip into a coma and slide out this
Yeah,
mortal coil.
no.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to deal with you, talk to you, look at you.
Jesus Christ. I have so many feelings. Too many words that are not appropriate for social media.
Yeah.
That's true. But fuck
So-
ice is
But fuck
certainly
ice, yeah.
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 appropriate
Yeah.
for social media.
No, that's very
And if that
appropriate.
upsets you, that's okay. You can leave.
Ace out.
I'm gonna write about a hockey player cucking an ice's wife and call it Puck Ice.
There you go.
Oh, wait, that's great.
We love a little cuck moment.
Wow. We like
Not
Do we?
personally. Not personally.
Sure. No, if it's ice,
I
yeah.
mean, it's cute.
Yeah.
I can give a side.
You know.
I saw someone say that, like, Puck an ice agent's wife, and I thought, Brittney would be mad if I did that, but less mad if it was just a rando.
I mean, yeah, it's your American duty, honestly, at this point.
All right, are we running out?
Yeah, we're out.
Tell me what you really, really yap